y'all? This is Running on the Sun with Joe and Tom. And guess what? It's that time. Yes, I know. Ocho, which is 8. 8 o'clock on YouTube. So,
shit,
Ocho,
yeah.
Ora, Ocho. I think I'm saying it right. It's all good.
I don't know.
This is Drunken on the Sun.
I
And
don't
tonight we're going to be talking about all the toys that we loved growing up. There's so
yeah.
many that everybody out there, I guarantee you, likes. And this list, I guarantee, is going to have things on it.
Oh, yeah.
Ones that we
Sure.
like, ones that I like, Joe likes, everybody likes. You
Yeah.
like, everybody likes Ikes. Everybody like tight.
Yeah, for
So,
sure, man.
you got some toys that you can
Oh,
rip off
shit, yeah,
right
for
off your
real.
head?
Like, for the first thing that I can recognize during this whole episode is, like, I didn't realize that He-Man, the cartoon, advertised for the toy.
Yeah.
Like, I used to have a bunch of He-Man toys.
Oh,
I had
yeah.
He-Man, Skeletor, like
Yeah.
Beastman. Another fun fact about that whole thing is they had to redo Beastman because he looked too close to Chewbacca.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was when they were doing the toy thing, they had a contract, they tried to have a contract with George Lucas and Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it fell through. But when they
Really?
it fell through, but Mattel did
This
He-Man.
Mattel did He-Man. That's right.
Mattel did
That's
He-Man.
it, Yeah.
And the first original version of Beastman looked too much like Chewbacca, so they had to redo it.
Wow.
And I just remember playing with
He-Man
those.
was shit though.
Oh, man.
Dude, I had all kinds of He-Man toys too. Like I love He-Man. He-Man was like my shit growing up. My grandparents always used to buy me
yeah.
He-Man toys.
Yeah.
So I had a bunch of them. And then I took them to the kindergarten and they got stolen.
Oh shit!
And
really?
yeah. Well, because I remember I took them in one time for show and tell, and I had 3 paper. This is back when they had paper bags at grocery stores.
Yeah.
So I had 3 paper bags fulls of He-Man
Holy
figures.
shit.
I had that many.
Like the real
He-Man
Oh
ones.
shit!
Battle-
3
I had
paper bags full.
Yeah, so a lot of them. And then they got taken away during kindergarten because I was being bad, and the teacher took them. And then when I went to go get them when I left for school, they weren't there. So I don't know.
Why?
I don't know whatever happened to them. So somebody
So you
stole
never saw them again?
Never saw them again.
Jesus Christ!
And the sad thing was my parents never questioned me about it either.
Maybe
So-
they just stole them from you. Like,
I
fuck
think,
this.
I think my parents had something to do with it.
They
Like,
probably
get
did.
rid of this He-Man. He's cluttering up his room. It makes me mad.
I could see that.
But He-Man was my shit. I loved it.
Yeah,
I have the power of Grayskull. But Skeletor was a shit too. I had Skeletor. I had
Yeah.
Beastman. I had a bunch of them. I had Manny faces. I had
Oh yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
I had all kinds of.
I had Trapjaw, the bad
Yeah, I had
guy.
him.
Yeah,
I had Trapjaw. I had the dude with 2 heads.
Yeah,
Whatever the fuck his name
I
was.
can't remember that guy's name. But
Yeah, all
anyways,
kinds of
that's one of the first ones I can think of. But another one of the first ones I can think of is Battle Beasts, the little tiny animal guys.
Oh, is that the one with like
the color?
Yes!
the heat sensor.
And you
yeah.
rub it and it
Yeah.
turns a certain emblem.
Yeah, like
it turns
a
an
fire
emblem.
or
Yeah, because they had the elements. They were all the animals
Yeah.
of different elements.
Exactly.
You had fire, wood, fire, water, and earth.
Yeah, and you would.
Because they had a wood one and an earth one, and they had fire one and
Yeah, exactly.
water one. It was so dope because the sharks were in the water.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
had a lion, and he had armor and shit, and a moose. I had a bat.
You
I
had the bat?
I had the bat. He had a hook for a hand and shit.
That's
I can
dope.
remember that.
Those dope. I had a rhinoceros.
Because they came in
was
2
the earth.
packs though too.
Yeah, they would come in 2 packs. Exactly.
Yeah. So you had
Those
the
are dope
rhinoceros.
as fuck.
Yeah.
I used to love, and they were cheap. So that's how I was able to get them because they were
Exactly.
cheap.
They were
And
cheap.
they weren't because He-Man was $5 a pop,
Yeah.
where these were like $2.50.
Yeah, something
So
like
I could
that.
get 2 packs and get 4 of them
Yeah.
for the price of 1 He-Man.
Exactly.
It was dope.
It was, and they were cool looking. I mean, they were only 2-3 inches tall.
Yeah, they
but
were
still-
humanoid animals.
Yeah.
They're humanoid animals. So anybody who don't know it, look it up. And it's humanoid animals that like they were supposed to battle each other. So
Exactly.
like each clan was a different element,
Yeah.
and the elements battled each other.
Yeah.
it was dope.
It was cool.
It was just dope.
And like I remember having a deer or an elk or some shit, a bear.
Oh, wow.
Like I had some really cool ones.
Yeah, some cool ones.
Hippos, all kinds of shit. And that's one of the first like type of toys I can remember. But I also remember having the Rock Lords that turned into
Rock
rocks.
Lords are the shit.
And
I had one of those. I had one of those.
I had a couple. I had a blue one, and my brother had a brown one. He had like a mohawk shit going on. And then like he had a red one also. I think I only had like one or two of them.
Yeah.
And then he had the other ones. But it was very short lived though at the same time. Like the Rock Lords and the Beast Lords, they were all kind of like very short lived.
And I remember this one. They were like the take on the green action figures, like the green, Armament.
Yeah.
But they were called Guts.
Oh, Guts!
They were dope.
Shit.
They weren't. They were because they were all like one poses.
Yeah, exactly.
Each figure was one pose.
Yeah.
And you could create this world with
Yeah,
these
yeah,
guts,
yeah.
and they were servicemen. So you had like frogmen, you had the Army Berets, you had recon Marines, flight ones, all this cool shit. That was a cool toy. That was sweet because you could buy like a fucking 10-pack for like fucking $1.
Yeah.
And it was dope. So you could buy 30 guys for the price you're gonna pay. That's how I was when I was a kid.
Exactly.
Everything was always like, look,
Exactly.
Mom, can I get this? And my mom would look at it. And my dad would be like, well, it's only $1. Yeah, you can get $5. And they would always give me an allowance. $5 was my limit.
Yeah.
So it's like, here's $5. And that's not every time I went. It was only certain times. So, and then I'll be like, oh, I got $5 to spend. So I'd look and I say, He-Man was $5 for one guy. Then I'd look over here. I'm like, these guts are only $1.50. I can get 5 of them, and I can get 100 of them. You know what I mean? It's like, so I was doing shit like that.
But along the same lines as Guts, they had those other ones that are very similar called, I think they're Muscle or something. They're like pink guys. And they're like wrestler looking type dudes.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I never owned those.
I had a couple of those myself, but
I thought those were lame.
They were on the same thing as Guts though.
No, Guts were better because Guts look cool, where the pink
and they
guys
had like
look
ninjas
stupid.
and shit.
Yeah, they had
Guts,
ninjas.
Yeah,
they had every service and every like thing.
Wild.
Because I remember they had like a canine unit you could buy.
Yeah.
And you have a dog and like all that shit.
I remember all that shit
It was
myself.
dope.
And yeah, that was pretty wild.
So now, speaking of toys, like, was there ever a toy that you wanted so bad for Christmas? Because Christmas comes but once a year, and like that was the only time I really got cool toys.
Yeah.
Was Christmas, because my birthday I would get one decent toy and some cake, and then Christmas I'd get 2 new pants, a couple new shirts, some new one pair of new underwear, and a toy. A cool toy. So, was there anything like growing up that your parents gave you that was so cool?
Yeah, I don't think
I can remember. I can name right off the break.
I think the biggest thing that I got falls in line with the Christmas story. I got an air rifle once for Christmas.
Oh,
that was one of my biggest. That was one of my biggest things. I wouldn't classify that a toy. But I killed a bunch of birds with that motherfucker.
Well, that's how I got my air rifle. The only time I got an air rifle was because of Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I got mine.
That's the biggest thing that I can think of.
I had a pump with a scope.
10 pump, yeah.
I would pump it up like, and pump it up. I'd be like, I'm going to go to 100. So I'd like pump it up to 100. And then I'd walk in the woods and you'd be like, I can kill a human with this. Thinking, and then as a kid, I'm like, I got a scope on it. I'll aim it right in his eye. It's like, you can't even hit a bird. Fuck you doing, kid? And that's like, but that's what I would do with it. It was a one shot, so you put it in and be like, hold on, I'll get you. Just give me some time. Start pumping.
I went up to 10.
That was But I went past that. I would be like,
So along the Christmas question you had, what was yours? What was the big thing you got?
The Ninja Turtle blimp was probably my favorite one.
Blimp.
But see, there's a few Christmases that were pretty sweet to me. The first one was Ninja Turtle blimp. I wanted the Ninja Turtles blimp for my toy, for Raphael, so he could solo fly it, because that's the only turtle I had. The rest were bad guys. But this blimp, it was so cool because it had the body of the blimp, And then when and there was a blow up balloon.
Yeah.
And then you'd blow the balloon up.
Yeah.
Well, I got this in Christmas time, and I'd blow the balloon up, and I'd take it outside, and the balloon would decrease.
Yeah.
So I was like, my father was always kitten crashes.
Shit.
And you know what? Some toys I used to I loved, and this was so crazy. Back in the day when Jurassic Park, the original Jurassic Park came out.
Yeah.
I had a Robert Muldoon toy, and you had that toy, and you had also you had the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Dino Damage Tyrannosaurus.
That were made out of real rubber.
Yeah, rubber.
And they were so dope, and fucking like I remember making in my yard. I made this little fence like Jurassic Park, and I made this little pen for this. I was like, when I get enough money, I'm gonna have the Tyrannosauruses. Like that's what I thought when I was like, because you had the Tyrannosauruses, and I was like, these are so awesome. And you had the Triceratops.
I had a raptor.
You had a raptor. You had a bunch of them, and I was like, these are the shit. Like they were so cool. Especially because I love Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
It was so dope.
Yeah,
and the toys were so dope because they looked real as fuck.
They did. They were great.
They were real as fuck, and they felt real. And it was like...
Funny story about the T-Rex I had. Like, I bought it. Or I didn't buy it. But when I got it, I had everything with it. But it had dino damage, so I had this little chunk you could pop out, and you could see its ribs.
And it shows ribs, yeah.
Well, I lost it. And I wound up calling Mattel or whoever called him up.
I remember this.
I was like, so I called him up anyways at the time, being a 13, 14-year-old, be like, I got this and it didn't have it.
Yeah.
And they wound up sending me the dino damage thing and I was able to replace it. And I thought it was super cool of them. But I lied.
You still got it.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
And Mattel didn't care. They were making so much money.
I know. I already bought them. My parents already bought them, what? $20, $30 dinosaur.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a little piece of rubber. Who gives a fuck?
Gone. I know. But
I was like,
there's so many. Like I had a bunch of He-Man toys, like we said, and fucking. There's so many good toys that other people had toys that I would love playing with.
Yeah,
like you had a bunch of toys. That
one of the biggest ones when I was thinking about this was I actually was able to get a My Pet Monster.
Oh, what?
Yeah, My Pet. You remember that? Like,
yeah. See, I wanted one. I never got one.
Yeah.
I never got it.
For some reason, like he was so cool. Like the whole concept of My Pet Monster was he's this monster. He has these shackles on him, and then like he can break free and come alive or whatever shit. I wound up losing the shackles. But my mom might still have My Pet Monster at the house.
Oh, that's dope.
And it was just like, it was one of the coolest things that like, I don't even know how I got it.
No, that toy was, because they had like, I love the My Pet Monster, because my cousin had one. And I never had one.
But it was just like, they had two different versions, because My Pet Monster was the good guy.
And then it had the bad guy.
The bad guy monster. Yep. I didn't have the bad guy monster.
See, I watched the movie. They had a movie of My Pet Monster.
Yeah, I remember that.
I would get that from the movie store. That
I know they had a cartoon too.
Yeah.
And a lot of the older cartoons are just advertisement for the toys.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't know that. Like growing up, of course. Why would you know that growing up?
Yeah, we weren't into it. We just loved it.
We were just like, this is fucking shit. I remember back in the day, like some of the first toys I remember. This is gonna sound gay as fuck, but some of the first toys I remember having were actually My Little Pony.
Oh.
And I think it was super cool of my mom.
That's cool.
To like buy me My Little Pony as a boy, you know, like whatever, getting My Little Pony. My kid has the My Little Ponies now, but like, I don't know, maybe I liked horses, I don't fucking know. But I had My Little Pony, I had a couple other like things. Another thing like that I had was popples. They were like little balls.
Yeah,
popples that you could like make into like a ball, and they were just like a fucking ball. And then you could like, they were stuffed animals, so you could like undo them, and they would be like a stuffed animal. And I had a couple of those. I had a white one. My brother had a purple one, a bigger purple one.
I never had a popple. My cousin had popples. I never had. What I had back in the day like that was pound puppies.
Oh shit, yeah, I had pound puppies myself. I
had a big pound puppy. I had a bunch of little pound puppies.
Well, some of the pound puppies would come with like pregnant.
Yeah.
And you could take the pound puppies out of the stomach and shit.
Yeah.
But
mine wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Mine was just a normal big one. Because what happened was, I never realized about Black Friday till I was older.
Yeah.
But I think I went to Black Friday numerous times as a kid. I just didn't realize it.
Oh.
And every time I would go to, we'd go to Odd Lots and
Odd Lots.
and Kmart and fucking Ames.
Yeah, Ames.
And fucking
Hearts.
Hearts, yeah. And fucking every time I'd go, I'd get hot chocolate and a pound puppy.
Yeah.
So I'd get these little pound puppies, and they're like, pick which one you like. So I'd pick ones like bulldogs.
Yeah.
They have all different kinds of ones. I'm like, these are dope. And I was a little kid. You know, I was like fucking 5 to like 10. This is what I was getting these. So I had massive pound puppies because we go to these different stores and they give you new pound puppies. I'm like, this is awesome.
And at one point, I think,
but I think that was Black Friday, and I think it had to be because we would go like the butt crack of dawn.
Okay.
And fucking really
so you
early.
can remember early shit.
And that's why we'd get it. And I always liked it as a kid because we'd get up so early. And my mom would be like, we're going to get hot chocolate when we get there. And you get free gifts.
Yeah.
And then we get pound puppies and hot chocolate.
Oh, shit.
So I was like, this is fucking dope.
That is
so
awesome.
I think it was Black Friday. And I never realized it. I never realized it. And I think it was.
That's really cool. But I remember back in the day, some of my pound puppies I got were from Book It, from Pizza Hut.
Oh,
you remember
dude,
Pizza Hut?
yeah.
And the Book It thing, you get the little stars on your thing, and then you get like you get something.
That's how I had the puppet from The Land Before Time.
Oh yeah? Oh yeah.
I had a puppet. I had one of those. I had Spike.
My mom might still have Littlefoot. I had Littlefoot, and
Yeah,
I think I had
puppets.
Spike too.
Yeah.
From the Pizza Hut. Shit.
The puppet, and from what you're saying,
Yeah,
the Book It.
the Book It program.
You'd have to read so many books,
Yeah.
and then you'd take it to Pizza Hut, and they would give you a personal pan pizza with a toy.
With a toy, exactly.
Because you read so many books.
Exactly.
And it
I
was
think it was
cool.
like 4 or 5.
Yeah, it was something.
Yeah,
it was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
So I was always, because I love pizza.
Oh, pizza! Yeah.
Pizza was the shit, and I'm like, Pizza Hut's the shit.
All I need
now
to do is read a
can't-
book?
Yeah, that's all you gotta read a book. I got this. And then my dad would be like, "God damn it, why are we here? We read a fucking book." Dad'd be mad. He'd be like, he read a book, so what? I read books every day and I don't get shit. I have to pay for this shit.
Personal pan pizza.
Personal pan pizza. I
Fuck
gotta pay.
this.
I gotta pay for the pizza that I'm eating.
But yeah, that was so cool. And another thing I really liked growing up is just the fact of visiting the toy department. Like, I didn't get toys all the time.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But my parents just let me wander the store alone.
No, mine did too.
And just let me go to the toys. They knew that I would be there.
But this is day and age where we weren't getting kidnapped
Yeah, exactly.
like they do now.
We weren't going to get kidnapped. And our parents knew where we were. We were just there in the toy department scoping out all the toys that we couldn't afford.
Yeah.
Because it was just the fact that, man, look at this.
How cool would it be to have it?
How cool would it? Yeah, exactly. How cool would it be to
And then
have
we
this
use our
shit?
imagination to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
And that's what made it really cool. Was like we could go and get toys in our mind that we didn't have in our hands.
Exactly.
You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
And just
It was
play
cool.
out a scenario or play out as that character. And yeah,
It was really cool.
every time I remember going to a department store like that, I would go to the toy department.
Yeah.
While my parents shopped and got what they wanted, and they'd come, time to go. But
And,
no.
and then I always do this. Can I get this?
Yeah, exactly.
And then they would like, no. I'd be like, well, what if I did this, and this at the house? Can I
Exactly.
get it then? They'd be like, if you do it, then we'll get it for you. And then I'd do it. And then they'd be like, I'm like, you said you get a toy. You didn't do it that good. Or
Not
they
good
say-
enough.
Not good enough. You can't get it. I'm like, damn it.
Oh shit! One last thing that I really remember is the fact I really liked GI Joes growing up.
I hated G.I. Joe.
I like G.I. Joe.
I had one G.I. Joe in my
I
life.
had a bunch of GI Joes, and what I liked about GI Joe was there was a screw on the back. You go unscrew that screw and change them up. You could put different legs on them because they only had like a rubber band in the middle, and you could take that all out and like make them how you wanted. So I'm always fucking with shit, and if you broke one, you could just get one. I don't really like this guy. I'll take his legs off and put him on this guy. And
So funny.
it would just change it into a different thing. I just like changing the shit up. But G.I. Joes were really cool.
That I do know you like.
Yeah, I did.
Because
I
remember.
all the time.
Well, I remember so many times but you would make cool toys too. I remember I gave you a Hulk Hogan toy that I had, and you made him to the Juggernaut, and it looked like the Juggernaut. And it was like so cool. I was like, this is badass. I was like, Joe fucking turned Hulk Hogan to the Juggernaut.
I did turn it.
And my parents are like, what'd you do with that Hulk Hogan toy?
He's a fucking Juggernaut.
He's nowhere now. That's cool.
He's gone.
He's gone. So
it's okay.
But there's a lot of toys you did that.
I did, and my kid does the same thing. My kid she's already converted some My Little Ponies, like newer ones, into zombie My Little Ponies. Like we've made them into zombies and shit.
Wow.
It's just like, it's crazy. It's different.
I can't believe it's only 23 minutes. So I feel like it's been longer.
I know.
Toys, like there was a lot that I had that was really cool. And see, I had a bunch of different toys. I would have like a toy from here, a toy from there, a toy from this. Different. So I had Batman playing with Lion-O, and Lion-O playing with fucking Optimus Prime. Even though I didn't collect Transformers, I hated Transformers.
I had some Transformers.
I had those rock people you were talking about. I had one of those.
But Transformers were a little bit difficult.
I hated Transformers. To me, they were just. I wasn't a big car person. Because my dad wasn't a car person. I'm not a car person. So to me, my favorite cars are fictional cars.
Yeah.
The Batmobile is my favorite car of all time. So one thing I really liked when I got these when I got older was the Micro Machines Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
I had these Star Wars
I remember
toys.
That.
I had Jabba the Hutt. I had AT-AT. And they were
you
all
had a lot of fucking.
I had Slave One, Boba Fett.
Oh yeah, you did.
Boba Fett with Carbonite, Han Solo. It was fucking dope. I had all these fucking. Those are cool. And I remember I had.
Cool.
I really liked them because they were cool because
they were cheaper.
They were cheap, and you can get a set, and you can make it look like what you see in the movie. So it was fucking dope.
It was amazing. And along those same lines, at the same time, it was a play on like the Polly Pocket and the Mad Max toys. Yeah. Not Mad Max, but Mighty Max.
I had one of those. Those are pretty cool.
I had the Mighty Max Mountain. And it was a whole play set. And it was this big mountain. You could open it up. And it had like different shit in Mighty Max. I didn't have a lot of them, but I had the Mighty Max Mountain. Yeah. And I had the Mighty Max thing. It was the boy version of Polly Pocket.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, I know. It's so crazy. It's so funny. You know another toy I used to love? And I would get one every fucking year. When I went to the fair, every year I would get a new ninja sword.
The plastic
those plastic
ninja
ones.
Oh shit!
But they have like the fucking the wrapping around the handle.
Around the handle.
So it was like almost real. Yeah. I was like, this is awesome. Every year I got one. I was like, what year? I was like, what color am I getting this year?
What?
Am I getting a red one or a blue one? I'm gonna get a cup. So every year, that's what I would do. I used to love those fucking swords.
Oh shit!
Because I would destroy them within the first 2 weeks.
Oh, you would because after you fight,
like
that's the same thing we did with the lightsabers.
Yeah.
And just fucking shit up with a lightsaber. You're not supposed to fight with them, but we did.
We did.
And they bent all the fuck because you were hitting each other. And I remember playing in the dark.
Hard. Yeah.
The light was low, so I had the Darth Maul, you had like somebody else, and I had like Luke Skywalker. My brother, me, and you were fighting out in the yard.
Oh yeah,
fucking lightsabers and shit.
Dope. because you had those ones that were you had Luke's.
Yeah.
With the green one.
You had Darth Vader.
No, I'm saying like you had those toys.
I had the green one. And I got a lot of... back when the re-release happened...
That's what happened, yeah.
Back when the re-release happened that Christmas, I got a fuck ton of Star Wars toys. I got Slave One, the big AT-AT, fucking Millennium Falcon, all kinds of shit. But that wasn't original.
No.
But what I do remember is my brother had some of the original toys.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah.
And I remember he had like Yoda... He had Luke, he had the Wampa, like the Wampa was weird. I remember playing with it, but he had all these original toys that I wish I still had because imagine how much money I
You make money off it.
I know, right?
Sure.
But yeah, it's just wild because like he's a couple years older than me, so he had original Star Wars toys, and I remember playing with them.
Yeah.
And at the time, you know, when you're playing with a toy, you don't think.
Yeah.
In the future, this is gonna be worth something.
Yeah.
Especially with shit like that, but that's just the way it was. You know what? Thanks for joining us, Drunker the Sun. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify.
All that bullshit.
All of it. We're trying to get everywhere we can. So thanks
So
again.
like us.
Like us.
Subscribe.
Do all that shit.
Check it out. Our new commercials are coming out. We got everything coming out.
Oh shit, we got it. We were
We went too far.
Yeah.
So check it out.
See ya.
Done.